Yeah, yeah. Woke up with purpose in my chest. Thanking God I know I'm blessed. Got a vision, can't be stressed. I'm planning deep, I'm manifest. Every seed I sow.
I know y'all like, she staying that champion stuff. I do. I do. I told y'all a couple videos back that I am exceptionally strategic.
Ain't no shortcut to overflow. You reap the love and work you sow. Keep my eyes on heaven's plan. Do my part, I'll take a stand. Every lesson shapes the man. Got us
Hello, beautiful. Happy Saturday. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Evelyn. I'm so glad you stopped by. I know I have quite a number of new subscribers, so I want to say thank you. I know Twan sent a lot of you all over to my channel, and some of you might be acquainted with me through different challenges and low carb queens conversation, which you haven't seen that video. I would encourage you. I did post it in my community post channel, so sorry, column, so please check that video out. We're talking about our relationships, specifically marriage. So that's good. And also a little bit about my channel. So my channel is a personal development and lifestyle channel. So while right now my health and fitness journey is pretty much taking top priority in terms of the type of content that I share on here, but it's also part of this lifelong journey for me is to get to my healthiest body that I can so that I can live a long and bountiful life. But from time to time, and increasingly these days, you'll see me drop motivational, inspirational content as I share different stories about experiences I've had in my life, just with an expectation that it brings you some hope. With that said, I will go ahead and get into this week's weigh-in because I know that's what most of you are here for. So let's go ahead and dive right in. The last time I weighed in was, let's see here, the 1st of this month. I weigh in bi-weekly. I used to weigh in weekly, but because I'm getting closer and closer to the body fat goal that I'm trying to achieve, long time ago, it feels like a little over a year ago now, my goal was to get down to 29% or less body fat. We, meaning I, am going to find out if I reach that goal when I go for my 3-month check-in at my doctor's office and do the inbody scan. We'll see if I have achieved that by the end of the month. Of course, I'll share that on this platform. But anyhow, 1st of the month of this month, November 2025, I weighed in at 178.2. And this past Friday, yesterday, I weighed in at 177.6. I am pleased because I am building muscle and losing fat at the same time. I think I ran some numbers the other day, and my average loss at that time for 65 weeks, I was at 0.4 pounds per week, which for some is slow, but actually for Wegovy, the medication that I'm on, is actually right on track with what the studies showed. And so I'm very pleased, but more than that, I'm pleased that I am starting to really tighten up and see a difference in how I look aesthetically. And so while I don't think I'll ever get to low numbers, because of the overall physical aesthetic that I'm trying to build is more, how can I say this, slim thick, maybe a chinksy with more of the thick than the slim, if you know what I'm saying, because I tend to hold most of my weight on the bottom half because I am a pear shape. So I started the 1.7 in July, actually, July 30th to be exact of this year. So I've been on the 1.7 since, let's just call it August, really, because July 30th is when I injected it into my right leg, according to my records that I keep. So August, September, October, November. Yes, I'm on my 5th box. I haven't started the 5th box. I finished up the 4th box. I will start my 5th box on Tuesday when I have my injection day. And one of the things that I noticed on the 1.7 these past 2 weeks is that my appetite, like, it's really gone down significantly, which I got to be mindful of because I don't want to lose the energy that I need to lift heavy. And so I've been noticing that my food consumption or my desire for food has kind of went down. That's not really something that I have experienced on this entire journey, because prior to starting on Wegovy, I was on compounded semaglutide from August of last year all the way through May to up to May of this year when I transitioned back to Wegovy. When I started Wegovy, because it's brand name, I started over at the lowest dose back in May at the 0.25 and then worked my way up to the 1.7. On Wegovy, the two doses, higher doses, the 1.7 and the 2.5, are the doses that, you know, you kind of stay on for the duration. I don't know if I'm ever going to go up to the 2.5 Wegovy box, or 2.4. It's either 2.4 or 2.5. I don't know if I'm ever going to go up because I'm seeing such great results with the 1.7. But yeah, that was new for me to experience the lack of desire to eat, because I've been able to eat on this medication. The majority of people I follow on YouTube are on the tirzepatide, the compounded version, or they're on Zepbound or Mounjaro. And, you know, they often talk about, like, they just, you know, it's really hard to eat when you get to some of the higher doses. In contrast, that ain't never been a problem for me. Now, I cut back drastically on my eating, but I've never had a problem on this journey so far with, like, just not wanting to eat until recently, which is that's a very new thing for me, especially for me to have finished up my 4th box. So I don't know if now that I'm in the 4th month of this particular dose that, you know, everything is leveling out and this is what my new normal will be. I'm not really sure. Certainly time will tell, and I'll keep you posted on that. But that was one of the things that stuck out to me. That was pretty weird. Another thing about me is that I weigh myself bi-weekly, but my best friend as far as measurements is my tape measure. I measure myself every 6 to 8 weeks or so. And so I'll take my measurements after I get my inbody scan on the 28th of November. So we're looking at maybe first week of December is which I'll do my measurements on camera like I have done in times past, with the exception of my hips. I always do that off camera for, I think, obvious reasons. The other piece that I wanted to say is, so y'all know, well, maybe you don't know, I'm also, while I'm on a weight loss journey, simultaneously and running parallel to that, I started a powerlifting journey and gearing up for my first meet in 2026. Originally, my meet was going to be at the end of February. Now I need to find a new meet, because getting to the next point, I need to update y'all on I found out that I was violating the doping policy. I shared this on my live last week, which is private because I ended up sharing probably too much personal information. So that one is going to remain private, just because that reason, not because I'm trying not to be transparent. But I said a couple of things, and just being comfortable with, you know, the audience, the chat, that I probably wouldn't normally say on a recorded video, just for safety reasons. Anyways, getting back to the doping policy for USA Powerlifting, I was reading through it in preparation for the meet, and I'm like, oh my God, I have violated this doping policy. And you might be asking, how, Ev? How? Well, I am on hormone replacement therapy. Specifically, I am on bioidentical testosterone, okay? Testosterone is one of those drugs on the doping list that is strictly prohibited. I cannot even get an exemption for it based on the use, which of course is perimenopausal symptoms. And the testosterone is helping me so much that I was just really not willing to stop taking the testosterone in order to compete, because there are other, I found, federations that will allow for me to compete in a non-tested category. so that I can still get some experience with, competing with others, because that's ultimately the goal, is to see kind of like, yes, my own personal records, but I also want to see like how strong I am as it compares, to other women in my age group, and just get better, get stronger, as time goes. One of the things I also wanted to say about the hormone replacement therapy is that it is so wonderful. Like, I was so fatigued like all last summer, like before I even got on the semaglutide. I was so fatigued. And like hibernation level. You understand what I'm saying? In a session that I went to, and thankfully my primary care doctor is the one who provided it to me, and it has helped me so much. I originally started off with the dissolvable tabs, the troches. It's been a while since I showed that, so let me go get it. 1 second. So this is my medication. I keep it in the fridge. The dissolvable tabs, okay? They're called troches. And you just put them like up in your upper cheek, and you just kind of let it dissolve. Now, when I first got prescribed it back in January of 2024, so earlier this year, 2025, not 2024, earlier this year, I was at, so another thing, the Nana glasses came in, and let me tell you, I didn't know I needed glasses so bad. Honey, I got me a new script. Okay, so I originally started off at 1.5 milligrams. The original instructions were for me to split one of these squares in half. Take one in the morning upon waking, take one in the afternoon around 3. That was way too much. When I tell you, like, the energy and the, you know what I'm saying? It was just way too much. So then they said, okay, well, we're going to narrow you down to half of the troche. 1/2 per day. And then that was too much. Now, I think I found a perfect dose. When I checked in for my annuals, my nurse practitioner, she was like, okay, you don't want to, have your hormones keep fluctuating, because what had happened was I was having so much energy and stuff like that, that I would kind of take a half, skip 2 or 3 days, take another half, right? But you know what I'm saying, you messing with your levels and stuff. I don't know the scientific way of saying it, but I was not doing it the correct way. So she quickly corrected me, and she was like, how about this? Let's do 1/4 of your dose. So now I already cut some. That's what these smaller pieces are. I cut them into 4. So now I only take about 1/4, because my cutting is not exact, about 1/4 of a troche. So 1.5 divided by 4 milligrams is what I now take, and that is worked wonders. Testosterone helps with a myriad of things. I would encourage you to talk to your physician about it if you are perimenopausal. Every woman that I know who take hormone replacement therapy, they cannot say enough about it, how it's changing their lives, and I am in that camp. Okay, that's enough about that. The other thing I wanted to share with you this week is that I have lost almost 30 pounds since this journey started. I started off at 204.4, as you know, for me sharing my weight. I'm now at the 177.6 as of yesterday. Anyhow, my point to saying that is, I don't know if you're familiar with chiropractic care or not, but there is no way you can lose that a substantial amount of weight and your body like not aligned properly. So I finally went to the chiropractor and got an adjustment, and it was amazing. The doctor was like, your back is really tense, and I was telling him that I started a powerlifting journey, and I noted, my back was pretty tight. So they put me on the, it's a technical term. I'll find it and put it in the editing and the text. But basically, he suggested that I get some stem treatment. Sorry about that. Some stem treatment while I was there, which is just some electrical pulses. They put the pads like on the area that needs it. So I had like 6 pads total on my back. So my upper back, my mid back, and then my low back, which is actually where I was experiencing some of the most tension and tightness. And man, my back felt so much better after the adjustment and stuff like that. And so that's one thing that I wanted to point out. I don't know, like I said, if y'all are into that or not, but it's something that I found to be helpful. It's like ever so often to get some. So that's the other thing that I wanted to share with you. A really quick update this week. Not a whole lot going on with GLP-1 and my Wegovy. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. I do respond back. Sometimes it takes me a little bit longer depending on the comments because like many of you, I do work Monday through Friday. So I'm squeezing in editing and supporting other people's content and responding to your comments. But I just want to thank you so much because I know that you don't have to be here. You don't have to listen to me talk. And so I'm so grateful. If you like my content, you like my channel, I would love it if you would please consider subscribing. Please make sure you like this video before you log off. And as a reminder, remember, the future you is waiting on you. Until the next time, have a wonderful weekend. I'm gonna get on over here and finish watching the interview.
Keep my eyes on heaven's plan, do my part, I'll take a stand. Every lesson shapes the man, gotta steward what's in my hand.